Hi and welcome to the next update on Seeking Change. I alluded to keeping a realistic focus on goals with our New Year resolutions that we have. I'd like to take that forward a bit further this week and look at how we motivate ourselves, how we make things actually occur and happen instead of just thinking about them. And what I was talking about in the last week, and if you want to, you can go onto the website and see the previous week's update, just to kind of bring you in line with what I'm talking about. What we do is we break it down into a small steps process. When we do coaching, when we're looking for achieving goals and achieving aims, we look at how we can break down the target into a smaller and smaller area and smaller process so that people can actually find that they've achieved something. It's not easy if you make or try to make big changes quickly. They usually don't work because we get disheartened, we get upset that they haven't actually done what we wanted them to do. So if you can break it down into small steps approach and look at the smaller units as being a target instead of the big target, then you can start to see that you're achieving something. And once we see we're achieving something, we get more motivation. Motivation can come in many forms. You can reward yourself for achieving things, if you want. You can ask other people to give their input to motivate you, to be that kind of support structure as you're going through the process. You can have a diary or a log that you can look back on and see what you've achieved and how you've achieved it. And in that diary, if you're going to use that process, then what I would suggest is as you're going through that change, record how hard it was to get to that point as well, not just that you've reached it. If you were trying to lose weight and the goal was 2 stone, then break it down into pounds and break the pounds down into ounces or half pounds. And then see what's a realistic achievement process for you to break that down and achieve it from. So you might say to lose half a pound, it'll take you 2 weeks. Don't try and do things quickly, as I've said. So if you said to lose half a pound, it's going to take me 3 days, that's probably really unrealistic for most people. And you certainly wouldn't be able to keep it up. So if you give yourself more time to achieve your goal, instead of putting yourself under pressure, then you're more likely to achieve it. So if you say it's going to take you 2 weeks to lose half a pound, then that sounds a long time and an easy step. But that's the process that we're trying to adopt. Easy, small steps. Now if you do that, if you lose that half a pound in a week, then you've achieved it. That's not a problem. But then you don't say to yourself, well, the next week I'm going to lose half a pound either. You increase the time frame again, and then you've got more opportunity to get a result and achieve your goal. So look at realistic small steps. Look at some way of documenting that, whether that's on a graph, whether that's in a diary. But when you're doing the diary or the graph, try and give yourself some understanding of how hard it was to achieve that, what you had to give up to get there, what happened along that route and that process. Because then in future weeks, when you're looking back and you're having a rough time and a hard time and you're finding your motivation is sapping, you can then look back in that diary and say, actually, yeah, it was as bad there as then. And I still did it, I still got there. So that'll motivate you to say, well, I've done it once, I can do it again. Because once we've done something and we can prove to ourselves we've done it, then doing another one is much easier. So small steps approach, find a way of motivating yourself and reinforcing the fact that you've actually achieved the results on a longer time frame than you thought was realistic. And then you'll find you're more likely to achieve your goals and get to the end result. And be happier doing it. Thanks so much for your time. Take care.